Cool. Hello, welcome everyone. It's a pleasure to have you all on the actual server now. Fantastic to see you all. To begin, basically, this is a short little introductory session to you guys to introduce the free initial forum tutors that we've got for you for English learning with Aisha, development with Arda, and product with Cassius. I will pass it over to Goa, who's got a few words, and then we'll give introductions to each of the forum tutors and give them a little bit of time to speak about themselves. Okay?
Thanks, Tristan, and welcome to all of the PTAC members who've been able to join us today. And also welcome to everyone who may be watching this later on. I understand that the time zone is going to be tricky going forward as well, because we have people who are joining us from around 15 countries in the Middle East, Africa, Asia, Central Asia. But we'll do the best we can to make a time that is at least a mean for everyone, right? But anyway, thank you so much for joining the orientation session and for joining our community. We have great hopes for this community. A lot of you have already seen Tristan, myself, and Sanam in many of our orientation events that we held with your respective boot camps. A lot of you have certainly gone through an interview process with us, so you know what it's all about, and you know why we're here. Today is actually the day when we formally kick things off. And in this very week, you have some things to look forward to. Saturday is going to be our first speaker session, and Tristan can give you a little bit more insight on who will be speaking, and you will surely receive an invite for that in Discord. I know that today we also sent out invites for the orientation via email, but going forward, I would just recommend that everyone looks at the announcements channel within Discord, because that's where most of the activity is going to happen, and that's when you know what is scheduled where. Also this week, our English self-learning forum will have its first live session. So obviously Aisha will talk more about that in her 5 minutes. But things are getting off to a great start this week alone, and next week things will be in full flow. So be sure to figure out which self-learning forums you want to attend, and be sure to make sure that you have your time chiseled out in your calendar to make the most of these opportunities. I also know that there are many people here who are still looking for work or are in the process of interviewing. We are here to facilitate that as well. Obviously, if any of our members come across a job opportunity, feel free to post that in the job board for your fellow community members to take advantage of. We will also be doing that, and Tristan has already, I think, come up with a list of jobs that he's populated there. And if you're looking for a job, you can also DM Tristan, and then he can add that particular country or that particular job role that you're looking for in his regular search. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it back to our worthy moderator, Tristan, who can call on the individual self-learning forum leaders to brief you guys. Thank you.
Cheers, Goa. I think we'll start off with Aisha. She's going to be tutoring for our English learning forum. I'll pass it over to her for a few words.
We can't hear you, Aisha.
Can you hear me now? Great. Hello, everyone. Hopefully, our live sessions will not have tech delays of this sort. My name's Aisha. I'm very excited to be helping all of you who want to improve your communication skills. I know we're calling it the English Self-Learning Forum, but the idea is that there are always things that we can be doing to communicate better in the workspace and in our professional lives, and that we can do to build those communication skills. So we'll be focusing on doing that in English, but our goal is for all of you to be able to be better communicators in your careers and hopefully for that to be a way for you to advance in your career, whether that means finding that first job or doing better in the jobs that you already have, getting that next promotion, taking on roles that maybe you haven't been able to aspire to because your skills get in the way. And I know that all of you have been working hard at your boot camps, and my goal is, and we'll be sharing some of the information in the Discord channels about this. There are two different learning pathways that we've put together. One is for people who are beginning in English, and one is for people who have slightly more advanced skills in English already. From what I've gathered from the forms that you filled out, more people are looking at the intermediate pathway for now, but both of them exist, and the exercises that are provided in all of them are useful whatever level you're at. So the more practice you get, I can't reiterate this enough. Whenever you're talking about skills, just like in coding, just like in design, the more you practice, the better you get. So for language also, the more you speak with other people, the more you write to other people, the more you read, the more you listen, the better you're going to get at communicating. And I think it's really important that you take advantage of the many resources that we've put together for you. And we will be having live sessions once a week. And the idea is for those to help you practice, maybe ask some questions, and so that we can focus the forum in a way that's most helpful to most participants. Thank you very much.
Cool. I muted then. Thank you very much. I'll pass it on to Arda now, who's going to be leading development. Pass it to you.
Hi guys, I'm called Arda. I'm actually from Istanbul, Turkey. Have been living in Germany for the last 5 years, since 2017. So as Tristan said, I will be supporting you for the coding workshop. And shortly about me, I actually used to study business, so totally unrelated. And when I was actually quite old as well, when I was around 27 or 28, I had the chance to jump into developing really simple websites. At that time, I was working in an agency as a content editor, actually, so totally unrelated to coding. But sort of my boss was quite supportive at that time. And I was able to make the switch to coding. And initially, I started with really basic, simple HTML sites, even with some emailing templates and the sort of efforts I had. And this was actually should be around 2011 or so. After working hard for 2 or 3 years myself, and while I learned JavaScript as well and got quite comfortable with that. And after that, was able to succeed in landing my first decent development job. From 2013 on, it was just startups for me, and currently it is still startups for me. And I've been working with Cassius mostly for the last 3 years in different companies together. Since I myself have grinded myself without getting a formal academical education about the coding, I do think, at least for me, the proper way of learning is doing by practice, learning by practice. So we can actually discuss detailed what you want to do as well, what sort of a grouping you would like to have in this workshop. But I think it will make sense to divide the persons into separate groups and come up with some customized projects, some projects. We can iterate some projects. Each group can iterate some project they would like to work on. and we can continue with that. Apart and regarding the days, I am not also informed about the set dates and times yet, but I am flexible on that on my side. Apart just one day, so we can figure that out. Yeah. That's it.
Cool. Thank you very much. Yeah, all of these initial sessions I will add to the events on the Discord, so as you all know when the first dates will be for those. Lastly, but not least, Cassius, who will be leading product design.
Hello. Yes, I'm having a bad day. One of my eyes is not working very well. I must have woken up on the wrong side of the bed. So sorry if I look kind of crazy. I'm trying to focus with 50% vision and the inability to perceive depth right now. So, but anyway, outside of those fun facts, so similar to Arda, my background is primarily in startups. Started off in product design, then gradually moved more and more toward product. I'm actually one of the co-founders of Pledges, so I helped set that up with Murti, the other co-founder. We raised around 5 million to set up Pledges at the time, and most recently I've then set up a healthcare startup where we raised 6 million. So my background is primarily focused on finding problems, solving them, and being able to either do that within a company or ultimately being able to kind of go out there and find new interesting opportunities. And based on the response I've seen from you guys, it looks like there's a lot of people here are interested in either learning how to start their own sort of like thing, their own gig, or find interesting projects they want to work on. And luckily, it applies both ways. So we can do a load of greenfield work in the product sessions that I'll be leading around how you would find, identify, and then begin to solve those problems. But whether you do that inside of a company or you want to be an entrepreneur, the process doesn't really change too much. Stakes change, but the process is very similar. So that'll be primarily what I'll be focusing on with you guys, like helping you figure out, what the world of product looks like and what to do in order to kind of like solve some of these seemingly complicated problems, and then turn basically nothing into something. That's kind of my specialty. And before I wrap up, just because Arda doesn't do a very good job of selling himself, so we're very lucky to have Arda here, because what Arda forgot to tell you guys in his kind of like blurb and his spiel is that me and Arda worked together on a project in the blockchain space, which consisted primarily of me, Arda, and one other developer, really, in the grand scheme of things. And the company that we were working with at the time, they were acquired for $50 million, pretty much for that project alone. And that was, 6 to 18 months of solid grind in various different ways. Or I say 16 to 18 months, sorry, not 6 to 18 months. 16 to 18 months of solid grind around building, testing, and developing that application. So Ardo was pretty much the cornerstone for that. For a very long period of time. So if you're in good hands with anyone, you're in good hands with Arda.
Thank you very much. Right, that's pretty much it from us. Unless anyone has any questions, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much to all our tutors for sharing some time today to introduce ourselves. And thank you for all the Pledges staff members for coming along today, both Goa and Sanam, as well as myself. Any questions before we leave from any of you guys? Cool. Well, if that's it, have a great day, guys, and I'll look forward to seeing you all soon. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye.